everyone, and welcome to Tutorial Tuesday. Sorry that this is a little late in the day, but let me see if I can adjust my lighting a little bit. How's that? Without jarring it too much. Okay. So we have done, let's see, we've done the Suzette stitch. We have done the moss stitch, and we've done a half double crochet. I have been looking into it, and some of your basic stitches like the single crochet, the double crochet, and the half double crochet are some of the best stitches to do washcloths in because they have that little bit of texture that you need for a washcloth. And then there's other stitches, of course, like we've done the Suzette and the moss. And we will do more of the different stitches like that. But today, I decided that we will do this in a single crochet. So there is no multiples. You just make it the width you want and the size you want. I want to do as close to 10 by 10 square as I can. Lots of times, once you start crocheting, that does shrink down a little bit. So it'll probably be between 8 and 9, somewhere in there. But again, let's see, that's still a shadow there, isn't there? Oh, I'm so sorry that's shaking. But, okay. We have, our yarn, and I'll tell you about it in just a minute. We have our 6mm crochet hook, and this is a, what's it called, a prim? A prim crochet hook that was given to me. I think I got this from one of my subscribers, and I love it. It just, the shaft is very straight here. I think they call that inline. But it just feels really good in your hand. So I've got that. You'll need a pair of scissors. And these little scissors are some I got from Temu. I believe it was. I've gotten so many different things coming in. I believe those were from Temu. And also the tape measure. And then you'll need your tapestry needle to sew in your loose ends. So let's move this stuff out of the way. And let's get started. And, oh, the yarn I'm using is I Love This Cotton. It's called Spark. And it's the color Aqua Sparkle. It is 97% cotton and 3% metallic polyester. And if you can see, there's a little bit of sparkle in here. And that's what that is. So it's mostly cotton, though. And it calls for a 5.5mm crochet hook. I am using a 6. I tend to like the 6 for my washcloths and stuff. It just kind of gives it the right drape and all that. So we'll get started, and let's see. And see, I've already used some yarn off of this one. Just got to be careful because you don't want it to get tangled up, both ends. So I think it'll pull from this end. Hopefully we won't have yarn barf. Won't that be fun? So again, we're going to do a slip knot, which I wrap it around my fingers, and I'm sorry about jarring that. And then I take this piece that I've wrapped around and go up and between these two pieces on my fingers and pull. And then you can always, you hold on to this end right here and pull, and that will tighten it up for you. And I'm going to start out by chaining 30, I think, and let's see how close that gets us to 10. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now, let me show you what I'm doing here. And just in case there's some beginners, I know most people watch this have some crocheting experience. So you've got the loop on your hook. You wrap the yarn around and pull it through that loop, and that makes you another chain. So there's 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And see where I'm using a larger hook, my loops, my chains are a little bit looser, which is fine. So let's lay this down and let's measure it and see what we've got. So it's just a little bit under 10 right there. I guess if you pulled it would be right at 10. So, and it'll probably shrink a little bit once you start putting the other chains in, and depending on how tightly you crochet your tension. So on this, what we need to do next is we're going to go into the second chain from the hook, which is this one right here. Okay, let's see if I can show you. Not this one, but the second one. So we're going to take our hook, go into that second chain, wrap our yarn around, pull it up, 2 loops on the hook, wrap your yarn around and pull through, and that's a single crochet. So into the next chain, wrap your yarn around, pull through, 2 loops on the hook, wrap your yarn around, pull through. So that's a single crochet, and I'll just do it real slow and do a row or 2 with you. Now, doing a single crochet, since they are smaller stitches, it will take a little bit longer to do them and a little bit more yarn, and it just takes a little bit longer because the bigger stitches, you know, the taller stitches, it does faster. So this is a little bit slower one. But go in, wrap your yarn, pull through, wrap, pull through 2 loops. Go in through the next one, wrap your yarn, pull up you got 2 loops, wrap your yarn and pull through. And we're going to go all the way across, doing a single crochet in every stitch. I hope you guys have had a good week so far. It snowed on and off today, but none of it stayed. It all went away. But anyway, and it's been cold. It just all of a sudden got so cold. And I'm thinking it's probably red bud winter. Get some more yarn. The red buds are starting to bloom. We always have, I don't know, I can't name all of them. I keep forget them, some of them. But we usually have red bud winter, dogwood winter, and it's all like when the red buds start blooming, then it gets a cold spell. When the dogwoods start blooming, there's another cold spell. When the blackberries start blooming, there's a cold spell. So there's a cold spell for everything at the beginning of the spring. So we've had snows before up in April. So hopefully, we hadn't had it snowed one time and laid on the ground for a little bit, but within hours it was gone, and nothing that was real bad. So we've had a very mild winter here in Tennessee. So I'm doing a single crochet all the way across. Go in through the chain, wrap your yarn around, pull through. You have 2 loops on the hook, wrap your yarn around, pull through both loops. And that is your single crochet. And most of you all know this. But I just thought it would be, if there's any beginners, then this helps them. Plus, it's a refresher course. We all can, you know, doesn't hurt to practice. And you could even use something like this to practice showing your tension. If you need to, if you're too tight or too loose, or you go tight and loose, you can try to learn how to just stay the same tension all the time and have, you know, have your stitches the same, you know, tightness or looseness, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, they say that March comes in like a lamb and it goes out like a lion. If it comes in like a lion, it'll go out like a lamb. Well, it came in like a lamb. So more than likely, we're going to have a cold spell and stuff near the end of March. Maybe even a snowstorm. Who's to say? But there we go. And my last great grandbaby that was born last year, he will be a year old next month, guys. That is so hard to believe. Wow. I haven't got to see him in person. We video chat a lot. They live in a different state. And so we video chat frequently, and I'm constantly getting pictures of him. My son's real good about doing that and keeping in touch. So, but little Ollie's growing, and he's a sweetheart. Okay, we're on our last loop. Sorry for the chattering. So we're going to go in, wrap your yarn around, pull through. You got 2 loops on the hook, wrap your yarn, pull through, and then we're going to chain 1 and we're going to turn our work. So let's see what we got so far. Let's get this little scraggler there. So there's what we got so far, and see, it's a pretty little stitch. The single crochet is a beautiful little stitch, very simple. It's a tighter stitch than some of the larger ones, but yeah, so there's our next row. So next, now here, if you look down at from the top, you're going to see your little V's. See those little V's? That's your stitches. And so you're going to, we've chained 1 and turned, so we're not going to go into this chain, this little stitch right here, where the, see where the yarn's going through. We're not going through that one. We're going to go to this next one. So the second chain from the hook, you're going to go through both the front and back loops of that stitch, that chain. Wrap your yarn, pull through. You got 2 loops on the hook, wrap your yarn and pull through. Now, again, we're going to go through both loops of that stitch. Wrap our yarn, pull through, wrap our yarn, pull through both loops. And you're going to continue that all the way down until you get to the end. Okay? So it's just a very simple stitch. And one you can, after a while, you can just do it without thinking. You just want to always make sure you get the very first stitch and the very last stitch, or it'll go cattywampus on you. Go, wonky. Won't be straight on the sides. So if you have to, you can get stitch markers or even another color piece of yarn to go into that last loop, that last stitch, so you can know coming around which one is that make sure you get each stitch. So wrap our yarn. So we're going in through both of those loops of that stitch, wrapping our yarn, pulling it through, wrapping and pulling through both loops. So, and I'm going to try to start recording these tutorials sooner so that I can get them posted. My computer is kind of getting old and outdated, so it's running slow, and I'm doing everything on my phone, or most everything on my phone, and it takes longer to upload the video into YouTube than it does for me to record it. So I'm going to have to start doing it ahead of time and getting it ready so that I can get this to you first thing on Tuesday mornings, at least before lunchtime. So guys, I'm going to try my best to work on that. And but we just kind of got a little quiet time going on here, except for my chattering and doing this row together. I know this is a simple stitch, but I thought I'd do a few rows with you, and then we'll get to the end and we'll look at a completed washcloth. So we're coming up toward the end. And there's a stitch. And now right here, if you look, you turn it over a little bit, there's that very last stitch, and you want to make sure you go into both loops of that last stitch. Wrap your yarn, pull through, 2 loops on your hook, wrap your yarn, pull through both loops. And you can kind of tell that you're in the right place because it's looking more, squared off there. Well, here, let me do it. See, kind of flat. So we're going to chain 1 and turn. And here's what we're looking like so far. See? Nice. Let's give it a little measure here and see where we're at. Whoops. Doesn't want to. Well, it looks like we're about 9.5 or somewhere in there. So that's fine. You just kind of get it square. I want to try to get it square. So I will pause the video and I will go on and get to the end, and then we'll look at our finished washcloth, okay? So hold on just a minute. This little tutorial will be a little bit shorter because it's a little bit easier stitch for everybody. But it's a fun one, and one that this should be a basic stitch that we all know. This is like one of the first stitches you learn. And then this can help you go on to other stitches. So This is the single crochet. We've done the half double. I think we will probably do one with a double crochet next. And then we'll go on from there and try to do some different stitches that maybe be a little bit more interesting, okay? So hold on and let me pause you, and I'll be back in just a minute to show you the washcloth finished. Okay, guys, this is my finished washcloth. There's a little bit of shadow there, isn't there? Sorry about that. Oh, there, that's better. Oops. Jar you real bad, though, too. So we're right at close to maybe 9 inches. 8.5, maybe 8.5, yeah. About 8.5. So there's the finished washcloth. And it's cute. And if you wanted to, you could do a little border, like do single crochets a couple times, a couple rows around or whatever, and do your little border. But that is our washcloth today. We've done the single crochet. And one way you can tell if you're, this may not be just totally square. If you fold it up like this and see how the edge goes together, if you can make it, if it does like that to where it looks like a triangle and matches up, then you pretty much got it good and square. My ends are wanting to curl up a little bit. But it's real, it's, you know, drapey, good little washcloth. There's a good texture to it, which makes it good for scrubbing. And I'm wondering if that little metallic thread in there won't help with some scrubbing. Like maybe even if you use it for your face, it'll be exfoliating, which would be kind of nice. So there's our washcloth. And I don't know if I mentioned, yeah, I mentioned the tape measure. I think I got it from Temu also. So there's that. And I used the tapestry needle and I sewed in my loose ends. And I hope that you've enjoyed this tutorial. Let's see if I can go down bigger. Okay. And I'm enjoying doing this. I really appreciate everyone's support and kindness toward me. I hate that I have a spammer showing up now on some stuff, or whatever you want to call them. Some of the comments are not, it's not that they're not mean comments, some of them, but the person hasn't been on YouTube long and they're using my picture with a different name. So that's one way I knew it was a spammer. And they even posted a short with flashes of my picture, my face. I was like, oh, so I reported it. So hopefully that's taken care of. But, yeah, watch out for spammers. And if you see anybody that you're unsure about, you can either message me and let me know and I'll look at it. Or you can report it to YouTube. They will look and see if it's legit or not. Okay? So I love you guys. I appreciate you so much. Please like, comment. I'm sorry this is so late in the day and this is a little bit shorter than the others, but it is a simpler stitch. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully you just enjoyed spending a little bit of time with me. I enjoyed spending time with you. Appreciate you, and we will talk to you later in Crystal's Crochet Cubbyhole. Bye for now.